Alright, you butthole blasters, welcome back. They going over the bikes, getting them ready for Busco. And just wanted to show y'all something real quick, what I'm doing here. So, I'm sure y'all have seen the, what do they call that? The gator rope or gator tug or whatever that little short rope is that you hook on the back of your quad and goes up here and pull it out, you know, a jerk and snatch or, you know, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, whatever the fuck they call it. I can't think of the name right now, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But basically what they use is like a winch cable off of a 9,000 pound or 8,000 pound synthetic winch for like a Jeep or whatever. And they basically just make it like 3 foot long, put 2 hooks on the end of it, and fucking sell it to idiots with too much money to spend. So, what I have got here is some boat dock line, and this is pretty heavy duty shit. I think the brake strength on this stuff is about 2,500 pounds, something like that. And so what I've done is got on her Polaris here, I just got, you know, like a standard D-ring pull with a, you know, like the 1.25" hitch, and then got a D-ring in there, and then I just looped up with a double overhand knot, looped the dock line onto it, and you know, put a little hook on the end of it, and boom, it cost me, well, actually nothing, because all the hooks I had laying around on a old winch come along that weren't working no more. So I did that, you know, knotted them up, and they'll be good. I mean, now, you know, a lot of people, they see them other ones and they think it's like a bubba rope, but it's not. It's just meant if you get high centered on something or whatever, and you just need like a little helping hand to kind of get tugged backward or whatever. That's all you really need it for. And they've got like the thing that comes, like a piece of rope that comes around that swings down. But what I like to do, because if you have the rope, or depending on how high your quad is, it kind of, let me zoom out here, it kind of hangs out and then curls up and goes around. Well, what I do is hook the hook back onto the rope, and the weight of the hook helps keep the tension out of the setup. The other thing that the deal is with them gator ropes, or whatever the fuck they're called, they're supposed to be able, you know, the whole idea of it is to be able to get to a hook point on your shit that isn't down in the mud, and you ain't got to like reach all down and get all fucked up. Well, if you just hook it in there like I done, all you got to do is fucking grab hold of the rope, pull the fucking rope up, boom, there comes your hook right there, and you're good to go. You know, you ain't got to worry about having that dumb shit around there and all that stuff. So, and you can see on my Honda, I done the same thing, and we used them the other weekend. We went out and went riding, and it worked really, really fucking good. I was pretty tickled with it. So, I don't know. I mean, you definitely don't want to back up and freaking snatch on at 900 mile an hour, but we did a couple little tugs and yanks on it, and it did just fine. You know, you figure the quads weigh, what, like 500 pounds for that one, like maybe 700 pounds for that. My fat ass on it, you know, let's say 1,000 pounds. You know, if you back up and really snatch on that sumbitch, you might be able to break it. But, you know, it's not designed for that. It's just a little tug kind of coax you out. And they work pretty good. And like I said, I mean, all this shit was free, man. You know, you could go pick it up at the store. You know, you could probably have $15 in the whole setup if you had to buy everything. And I used one dock line, and that was enough to make 2. I just basically figured out how long mine needed to be. Or no, I figured out how long hers needed to be, because she's got the shorter quad. So I figured out how much that one would take, and then, you know, use the rest of it for mine, so that way they'd be a little bit longer. But it works out pretty good. So, and then the other thing I'm doing here is making for the winch on the front, making a tree saver. I got one made up already, and this is just out of old ratchet straps. You know, they got a working load. These 3-inch, or yeah, I think they're 3-inch. What size are them motherfuckers? I don't know. 2-inch. Okay, so a 2-inch ratchet strap, And they usually got a workload of about 3,300 pounds and a brake strength of about 10,000. So, you know, this is basically just either like a tree saver or a short winch rope or a snatch rope or whatever like that. You know, there again, yeah, it's not going to be as good as a Bubba rope. Yeah, it's not as heavy duty, but you can roll them up real tight. And they work pretty good for what it is, and it's cheap and free. You know, I had chafed this strap a while back, had chafed it all up and fucked her up, and it cut it here too. So I'm gonna show y'all how I cut straps and pretty much any braided synthetic rope. This is the easiest way to do it, to cut it and all that without shit fraying up, because a lot of times whenever you go to cut shit like that, it frays up really fucking bad. So what I like to do is just take my torch for thin stuff like this. All you gotta do is just keep heating it up, and it will actually melt its way through. And you just heat her the fuck up, and you'll see, yep, see there, boom. It actually cut right through it. Now, the other thing you can do is take a knife, and you can go on a piece like this. So, can you all see what the fuck I'm doing? Yeah. Alright, so you can take a piece like this, melt it on each side. That way it won't unfray on you. Then take your old knife and cut it. And this method works more for like synthetic ropes, like what I did on them dock lines. This is what I done. I heated them up, you know, kind of sealed the outside of it so it won't unfray on you. Because if you've ever tried to cut synthetic rope like that, first fucking thing it does. Damn, this razor knife is fucking dull. There we go. First thing it wants to do is fray on you. So then you take that, seal your ends up with your little torchy poo there, or a lighter, or whatever hot fucking thing you got laying around, and you're good to go, and she won't fucking go nowhere. So yeah, so now we got the end of that one trimmed up there, and that looks pretty good. I mean, ain't fucking best shit in the world, but guess what she gonna do? Now we're just gonna do a double overhand knot in this turd, and she'll be just fucking sassy. And this will be, I'm going to use this one. This will be more for like a tree saver for your winch. That way you wrap this around the trunk of the tree. Yeah, just like that. Leave you a little extra there. And, you know, you wrap this right around the trunk of the tree back through itself. So you got something to fucking pull on. This one may be too goddamn thin. I don't know. That felt fucking great on my fingertips. Yeah, well, anyway, that's too goddamn thin, but you get the fucking point. Well, actually, no, it's not. Yeah, we're gonna do some fucking rearranging here on this one. There we go. That'll fucking do. That'll do. I mean, yeah, it ain't the prettiest or the baddest or the fucking coolest or hottest shit out there, but guess what? She'll fucking sing. Probably right into my goddamn forehead. But you know, that's beside the fucking point. There you go. That's how you make that one. So now we got a nice little shorty for either a tree saver or a fucking soft shackle or whatever. And then got my nice long one. Put them bitches on the fucking quads. Y'all take it easy.